Hi, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be talking about my summer collection for 2023, which is the Strong-Willed Heart collection. This collection was released on July 7 and it consists of 2 art prints, 2 stickers, 4 different types of button pins, and 1 handmade bookmark, and 1 POD shirt. So because I was trying to keep within a certain budget, I only did items that I could produce myself and items that I already had supply of or that I could get samples of. So these are the items that I could do myself, or they were stuff that I could get samples for and stuff like that. Before I show each individual item, I'm just going to do some background on how the collection came to be, along with some inspiration. Okay, so first off, the theme of this collection is centered around phoenixes, phoenix bird. And phoenix birds are commonly associated with like renewal, transformation, and like rising above hardships due to their ability to die and rise from ashes and become reborn, basically. So that is the theme, and that is kind of what I try to include in different artworks of my collection, was that idea of renewal, not so much rebirth, but more adapting to hardships, since humans can't die and get reborn again. So I kind of changed the idea of rebirth to an adapting. So basically, overall, it's like rising above your hardships. That is really what I tried to focus on for this collection. And the reason why I even focused on the idea of phoenixes is because after my last collection, which was the Distant Memory collection, I drew an artwork that contained a bird, which was a hawk. So basically, I was still in the mood to like draw birds, but I didn't really want to draw like just normal birds that we see every day. I wanted to go with the more fantasy route, just to kind of give myself a little break from artworks that are more grounded in realities. The first like creature I thought of was the phoenixes, since I was already in the mood to draw birds, and a phoenix is a type of bird. And the other inspiration for this particular collection was an artwork that I ended up doing on a whim. This particular artwork was the artwork that kind of snowballed the way for like the rest of the collection to be not finished but created, really. So I'm gonna start off with that artwork, since that was the first artwork to be entered into this collection. Okay, so this is the first artwork for this collection. Like I said, this artwork was done on a whim, so I wasn't really planning on it to be part of my collection for summer. But after I did this, I decided that I needed this to be part of my collection, so I kind of formed a collection around it. This is the original artwork, which is part of the collection, but since it's an original, it's just the only version available. And this artwork is called Seeking Changing Tides, and features a woman with 3 phoenixes flying around her, and she is kind of at that point where she is taking control of her life again, hence the adapting and transformation themes coming into play. Seeking Changing Tides is made with soft pastel and ink mainly, and at the beginning of this artwork I had no plan. I was really just trying to like practice with blending soft pastels, but slowly it kind of turned into this. Hence why I said I did it on a whim, because I had no idea what was going to come of it. And since I really did like the artwork, I did scan it for copy art prints. This is the letter size. I do have the 5x7 smaller size, but I can't find it. When I was doing this, I tried to stick with like a more fantasy magical theme, but I kind of also included right here at the bottom a pottery with water falling out of it, and also a shell necklace to kind of incorporate my tribe's culture in there a little bit, and to kind of show that these 2 elements, even though they're like very different from each other, do work together to assist one another. and to show that when you do kind of work on yourself, there is a balance in yourself that kind of develops over time. So that is why I also included that. So yeah, this is the first artwork that came from this collection. It's the one that started it, really. And the next artwork is a Native American one that is directly visible. I wanted to include one just because. And also because I was listening to Labor by, oh my god, I don't remember her name, but it's Pamela. Last name, sorry. Don't remember the last name. Because that started going around a little bit on TikTok especially. So I was kind of hearing it a lot. And when I was listening to it, this artwork was kind of like the image I imagine in picture. I think it's imagine. This is what I imagined when I listened to that song. Yeah, so this is the artwork. And this one is called Resilient Soul. And it features a granddaughter or daughter, depends really, it's kind of the same thing. We'll just say a granddaughter because there's a reason. It features a granddaughter being protected and guided by three ancestors. So we have one that is from a really, really long time ago before colonization. Another one where I imagine it was like the 1930s, something like that. And then a more recent one, which would probably be like the 1980s or something like that. And then the granddaughter being in like present time. So yeah, like I said, this is what I kind of imagined when I was listening to that song, and this is what it looks like. And again, the idea is that the ancestors are kind of guiding the granddaughter and passing on a strength and adaptation along with like skills and stuff like that to be able to navigate the world. And I said 3+ ancestors because I also imagine the orbs being also ancestral souls to the granddaughter. So there's like really more than 3. So yeah, this one is the only one I think that doesn't feature like direct phoenixes, but I felt like I didn't really need to include that because phoenixes are associated with fire, and fire is associated with passion. And the way we think of like passion and fire is orange, red, and like a bright white, which is what the orb colors are. So really the idea is, like I said, is that the ancestors are holding like those personality strengths and like basically kind of giving it to the granddaughter on a spiritual plane. That's really what it is. I don't know how else to explain this, but yeah. This was like the second artwork that was done. And for this one, it is on 8x8 roughly, because there's a border. 8x8 size paper, and also a 5x5. And basically this one is just kind of like a reminder that you're never really alone, even though it feels like you are, and that you do have skills that were like passed on to you either like in your like direct DNA or like spiritually. And that was kind of like the theme I was going for, because that's what it felt like when I was listening to that song. So yeah, this is basically how I felt when I was listening to that. So the next artwork is in the form of a sticker. I didn't really feel like doing it as an art print just because I really felt like it didn't look good as an art print. And as an artwork that I already shown on my Instagram, I made it for Halloween as part of like my Halloween art prompts. If I remember right, I think the art prompt was something flying overhead or something like that. And this is what I came up for with the art prompt, and it is Phoenix Flight, which can kind of go whichever direction it can go. It doesn't really matter what direction. And since this one, like, it directly ties into the collection with the Phoenix birds, I decided just to include it in the collection I included it just because it would have made things easier to already have an artwork that was already done that I didn't have to work on, since I was already doing 2 new artwork. So this was actually really calming to know that I didn't really have to like do much with it. All I had to do was just print it out since I already had it. They are flying over a desert landscape because, you know, that's my environment, so I did include that. This is 3 by 3 inches, and then I have a smaller version which is 1.5 by 1.5. Again, like I said, there's really nothing to like say about this since I did this last year. I don't remember why I decided to do phoenixes. So going along with stickers, we do have Seeking Changing Tides as a sticker too. This particular artwork is the one I would say is like the main artwork of this collection, just because I really love how it turned out. I really like the colors that I ended up choosing. I just like it overall. So since I liked it for the colors and the various reasons as I explained before, I also turned it into a sticker, which again is going to be a 3 by 3 and a 1.5 by 1.5. At the moment, the stickers are only going to be available as weatherproof matte, and I'll probably do like waterproof versions later on when I get supplies, but for now they're just weatherproof matte stickers. And then going along with the same artwork, we have a handmade bookmark, which looks like that, and it is the same artwork on both sides. And this one is laminated, and it is like flimsy, and it's like really thin, so if you put it in a book you probably wouldn't notice it as much because it is really flimsy, kind of enough to like do this basically. Again, I really like the artwork. I like how it turned out. I believe, if I'm right, it's about 2.5 inches width and like 5 inches in height. I don't remember at the top of my head, but I think it's like around there. Also, since it is laminate, there's gonna be a glare over it. You can kind of see it like right there. And again, finally, to kind of end off with that particular artwork, I also made pins, which are the button pins. And it has a safety pin backing. And for this one, I was able to include one bird and the woman. This one, I think it's, oh, okay, I know what it is. It's 2.5 inches. So this is the larger one. And then I also have a smaller one, which is like a really baby one. And this one is and this one is 1 inch. So to compare the two, like I said, this one's going to be the larger one. This one's going to be the smaller one. So like I said, I really like this artwork, so I tried to include it in different formats. So this was the final one. Since we're talking about the pins, here are the rest of the pins. So the next pin is a more simple one. It is this never fading, what did I call it? Never fading wheel pin. Too close, sorry. With the phoenix bird on there. Again, it is included as a baby version. Big one, small one. Like I said, this is like a really simple one. Since it was like a simple one, I wanted to include a saying on there, so I just included never fading will, again to kind of keep with the theme of like adapting and like overcoming stuff. So that is where that saying developed from. And then we have resilient soul as a pin. For this particular one, it is only available as a large one, just because whenever I tried to do the small pins for this artwork, it never came out right. So I decided not to include the smaller one, and I just have the 2 by 2.5 pins. For the last pin, I have this realistic heart with phoenix feathers falling down upon it. And around the heart it says another day is coming again, to kind of incorporate the idea of like overcoming something, and to kind of incorporate like the passion you feel when you try to renew yourself and try to better yourself. And since most of the time the area that you feel like passion and like motivation to like renew yourself like resides in the heart. That is why I did the beating heart one. And the beating heart pin is the same design that I use for my shirt, which I am wearing right now. I'm gonna show you right now. But before I do that, like I said, this is the POD shirt, which is print on the mat. So I do not keep shirts and clothing and like stuff like that in my home, just because I don't have like the room to be keeping stuff like that, and because it is expensive to stock up on clothes yourself. So yeah, like I said, this is a POD item, and it has a design on the front and a design on the back. And for now, only the shirt is available, but when we get closer to fall, I am going to also release a sweatshirt version, which will be very similar, but the sleeves will have something on them. But like I said, for now, this is going to be the shirt. So let me show you the shirt. So yeah, this is the shirt. You can kind of see it. It's the beating heart shirt. Like I said, it has the realistic heart, cartoon version, realistic heart with the phoenix feathers falling down, and then it does say another day is coming. It just has really vibrant colors, again, to kind of show that kind of passion you feel when you are trying to like renew yourself. And this is the back of the shirt, which is just phoenix wings. So yeah, that is the beating heart shirt. The wings I included just to kind of incorporate the phoenix a little bit more and to show that the phoenix and you are like intertwined. So that is pretty much it with the collection. That's all the stuff included for now. Before I go, all this stuff is already on my Etsy shop. So yeah, so any type of order, doesn't really matter how much money it is. If it's something from this collection, anything really, if it's like even one item from this collection, you'll automatically get the free art print, which on the back of the art print will like explain like a thank you note basically, and a free sticker related to this collection. If you make an order over $35 and your order includes any of the items from this collection, you'll get the free art print, like I said, the free sticker, and you'll also include a free handmade greetings card. So the art print and the greetings card are the same artwork. I'll put a picture of what the artwork is right here, but yeah, $35 you'll also get the greetings card. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to, and I hope you have a nice day, morning, and night. Bye. Later.